Boomer and Rob, this is amazing. You both agree on all 6 nominees for Best Comedy Series. Big Bang Theory, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Glee, Modern Family, The Office, and 30 Rock. And just when you agree on all 6, I say you're crazy for not including Family Guy, which was nominated last year. Now, look, Mike Osceola from Entertainment Weekly and I both believe that it will be nominated, and you guys don't even have it in your alternates. Why not? Speak up.
Well, Chris, I'll just say quickly that I have toyed with the idea, and I'd love to see Family Guy make it in, Tom, but with Modern Family and Glee, and I'm sure Chris will agree with this, with Modern Family and Glee coming into the race, it's going to make this category really, really difficult to break into, unlike last year where there was all these spots open for shows like How I Met Your Mother, which is now completely off the radar as well. So, because of that, I decided Family Guy is going to struggle this time. Their campaign wasn't as strong. And there are other shows as well that we're, leaving out, like Entourage, which
Family Guy really wasn't strong? Let me show you this. Can you see this, or is it becoming blurred?
Are you talking about the Precious thing? Yeah.
This is the Precious parody that Family Guy sent. It's absolutely brilliant. It's Peter walking with the wings thing, right? Open it up, and it says, this is really outrageous. Family Guy written by 8 wasps, 6 Jews, 2 Asians, and a gay. I mean, a lot of people were paying attention to this campaign. You're wrong, Rob.
Yeah.
But
all right.
You speak up, Chris. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
I don't think last year was everybody in our group at least was predicting it because it was an interesting situation, first time for them to try to compete there. Plus there were 7 nominees last year, but this year it seems like there's 5 almost certain nominees, and then you get into that 6th slot where both Rob and I had Big Bang Theory. Family Guy just seems like it was a 1-year fluke getting in, and now they'll be over that. They got their animated series. They got their animated chance there last year. I don't think it makes it back in this year.
I agree that 5 of the 6 are locks, but I don't agree on which 5 of the 6 with you guys. I think The Office is the one that's on the edge here. I mean, come on, Steve Carell's even walking away from it. Do you think it's possible it could not be nominated?
Absolutely. This last season of The Office wasn't as strong, and most people agree with this. It wasn't as strong as previous seasons. It's lost a lot of its buzz, and so if it misses out, no one's going to be terribly shocked, I think.
Other than the people that work on the show, I don't really know who marks The Office down in the number 1 or even number 2 slot. I mean, who right now thinks that's their favorite comedy on the air?
Nobody. You're right.
No.
All right, so we all agree it's vulnerable, but Rob, I disagree with you on something, and I know Boomer agrees with me on this, and that you're saying that How I Met Your Mother is off the radar. Now, it was nominated last year, and, it sent this very clever mailer to the Emmy voters, too, of course, the Singing in the Rain business, with the little pop-up here, pop-up, everybody, of what's his name, Neil Patrick Harris spinning on the lamppost. Chris, you have it in your runners-up, How I Met Your Mother, and you also list Entourage, right?
Yeah, Entourage. I put it in my scary picks. I would love to see it snubbed finally, but it seems to keep getting in there somehow or another every year. How I Met Your Mother, I think, is right on the cusp. I'm assuming they submitted on that disc that you're looking at the musical episode that they did. Right. So that's gonna gather some people's votes. It's just a really interesting year, like Rob mentioned earlier, with 2 new shows coming in, absolutely certain, Modern Family and Glee, and then Curb Your Enthusiasm coming off its probably most buzzed season, maybe in the history of that show, and it's been nominated most every year that it's been eligible. It wasn't even eligible last year. Then you throw in 30 Rock and possibly Big Bang Theory. I'm so glad that comedy is back. I mean, there were a couple of years there where you couldn't hardly find 6 shows or 6 people in some categories that were even deserving.
That's right. And exactly. If you look at it this way, Tom, you've got Modern Family and Glee. Everyone talks about them. Then you've got 30 Rock, which is a big favourite. Curb Your Enthusiasm has come off its strongest season ever. Big Bang Theory is a massive hit, and people think it's finally time for it to be nominated. It leaves like 1 spot, and everyone thinks, Emmy voters, they're creatures of habit. They're going to vote for The Office. It doesn't leave room for shows like How I Met Your Mother, I think.
But you also list Weeds among your alternatives. You've got that listed above these other alternatives. Yes. Why? It was nominated last year, of course.
It was nominated. There's 2 reasons. I think Weeds is an Emmy favourite. It's only been nominated once, but it always seems to be up there. people like Mary Louise Parker always seem to get those nominations, although she's missed out a couple of times. Plus, you've got Showtime behind Weeds, and I'm sure they're pushing it to the nth degree, like they're probably pushing a few of their other comedies. And so there is going to be some support for a Showtime comedy, and I think if any of them are going to break through, it's probably going to be Weeds because it's a previous nominee. But, I mean, it's an alternate. I don't think it's going to be nominated. But
there is another Showtime comedy that none of us have on our list, and we all know that it's a player, and that's Nurse Jackie. Could it get in?
Absolutely. I think so. I think it could definitely get in. It's probably not the funniest comedy on TV, but I think it's fantastic. And a lot of other people do as well. It's got an Emmy favourite in it, Edie Falco, who's probably the favourite in her category. And still, it's still going to be an alternate, though. I think the shows that we have in our list are almost certainly locked in, and there's probably just a few that have a really good chance of breaking through. But I don't think Nurse Jackie's one of them. No.
One other thing about Nurse Jackie that most shows never get this opportunity, and that's the way they aired their episodes. They started last summer, so they had their first season last summer during Emmy eligibility. Then they aired their second season here in the spring, so they've got a ton of episodes to choose from should they make it into that category.
Yeah. 6 Feet Under had the same thing in its first couple of years, a few years ago, so that's a good point, Chris.
2.5 Men used to always get in. None of us are predicting it's going to get in this time. United States of Tara, the other Showtime show, of course, Toni Collette won Best Comedy Actress. None of us are picking it. Other contenders are Community and Hung. Do any of these have a real chance of getting in?
One of my personal favorites is Community. I think that show started fairly good in the pilot, then kind of tapered off some. I almost even gave up on it, and then boom, it just started knocking home run after home run every single week. It's a really funny show. Parks and Recreation did the exact same thing. They started late last spring. They only aired 5 or 6 episodes, and hardly anybody thought that they were even maybe going to come back. It was such a weak first effort, and then they came on really strong this year, and they've got the support of Amy Poehler fans, and even got some support within the TV Critics Awards for Nick Offerman, and that's another show that might be right on the cusp of the Emmy radar. And Amy Poehler, when we talk about lead actress, may finally get a slot there as well.
All of us are predicting big things for Big Bang Theory. That was nominated last year, of course, for Jim Parsons, Best Actor, and this was the mailer sent to the Emmy voted, very clever, this kind of diorama thing. And it was, again, the talk of the TV Academy. Big Bang Theory is probably a good example of that phenomenon where a show, for example, like Scrubs wasn't nominated its first few years. Everybody Loves Raymond wasn't, and then suddenly gets in. It gains momentum. And all of us think that it's going to be Big Bang this year. But why?
Well, certainly because it's a massive hit. You can see that CBS is taking a humongous chance by putting it on Thursday nights this coming season. And it probably broke through last year, actually, the year before the current season, and should have maybe been nominated then. Jim Parsons broke through. It didn't. Everyone was thinking that perhaps maybe it might do so this time. It's a huge hit, Tom, and people seem to really love it. It's huge all over the world now. It's probably the biggest comedy on telly.
And like you mentioned, Tom, there have been so many shows that finally broke in that third season. I don't know what it is about the third season with the Emmy voters. Maybe it just takes that long to get on their radar. But Two and a Half Men it was their third season when they got in. Everybody Loves Raymond. So that seems to be the magic number. And I think we all, as people that watch the Emmy process, when you get a situation like Jim Parsons making it in last year, it shows us that they are watching it and paying attention to it.